Good morning, traders. Welcome to this week's Elliott Wave Forex and Cryptocurrency Market Analysis webinar. I hope you all had a wonderful week. It was a great trading week last week with so many trade setups. I spoke about the modifications and improvement on our strategy that you will see on our analysis, and you'll see that improvement on our analysis this week. We have been testing and forward testing that strategy. It is working amazingly well. Not that what we had before was not working, but this just improves our trading by tenfold. So this week I'll be showing you how to pinpoint trading levels, right? To trade with exact pinpointed levels. That's how this new strategy works. No, not just trading the flag breakouts, but you will see how we pinpoint entries when we trade using this strategy, right? So before we get started, we'll be going through the trade setups of all the trades that we've traded in the last week, and I'll do an update on that. Before we go on to that, if you'd like to contact us, our next course is starting on the 30th of November. Make note, the 30th of November, it is the last course of the year. If you'd still like to join us, contact us via all the details that you will find under the description of all the videos. So if you go to any of the videos and you click on the description, show more, you will find our contact details. You'll find the website there. So if you'd like to book for the course, go to the website and you can book the course there, right? So when you book for the course, you get the full recorded course of the previous one. So the previous course, you'll find the full recording when you purchase the course. So that means when you then attend the live course in November, you would have already watched the full course. So then you can interact, you can actually ask questions. Then we spend 10 days together on the course. From there, you remain in the group for the next 12 months. We're learning to trade in real market. We've also got a live trading room daily at 9 a.m. GMT and 11:30 GMT, Mondays to Fridays. So those are some of the benefits of taking the course. So you don't just take the course and you go away. You take the course and you stay in the group and you learn how to trade practically. So the rest of our pages are there. The Facebook page, that's where you'll get more details of all the setups that I discuss here before and after, as well as our Twitter page. You can follow us there on Twitter, and there's a Telegram channel there. You can also follow us on TradingView for some of the charts that we upload there. So that's just the information on the next course. So it is available on videos. You can watch it immediately. Right, let's get started with this week's analysis. We will be looking at first trade recaps. Very interesting, and this will put to light how the strategy, how we've been applying the strategy. Now, this is a pound US dollar 1 hour chart. Now, this chart, if you look at this, it's an amazing trade setup here. So we were looking for this one to push up higher right at this point and drop. All right, how did this play out? Now, if you look at this, this is how the chart played out. We have shown this one last week, and this is how the analysis went. We went up here and we have come down. Now, we have actually executed the trade here, right? Pinpointed here to the pip based on the strategy that we have updated. Based on the strategy that we have updated. So this has already dropped over 220 pips, and we've already protected 150 pips. So if we look at here, this is our live account here. I'm not going to show you all the details. I'm just going to show you the entry here. This is the entry here on pound US dollar. This is where we pinpointed that entry based on this. So I just wanted to show you that the strategy can pinpoint for us to take the trade right there. We don't have to wait for breakouts. So we knew right there that we needed to take the trade. So if you can see here, our stop loss on a sell is already at 150 pips protected. So whatever happens here, this trade is going to run risk-free, and we're still targeting over 500 more pips to the downside on this. We'll do an update shortly when we do market analysis. Let's go back to Slack here. So that was pound US dollar, an amazing trade. It's going very well. It is risk-free, painful now. We're not going to lose that trade no matter what happens. Now, this was another one, Euro US dollar. We've done a special webinar for our members on this one, detailing exactly how this one was going to drop from here. Initially, if you look at the previous webinars, we were looking for this one to make a move to the upside with the expectation that this is all the correction. But when this made a three-way move here, we could see that this was not going to go up. So we took a sell setup here, and this is now dropping a couple of hundred pips. So this is how Euro US dollar is playing out so far. Now, how did we trade this here? If we look at this here on the live account again, let's get Euro US dollar so you can just see here where the entry is. So again, Euro US dollar, this is on the 4-hour chart. So this one right here pinpointed to this entry. So that is how this one has dropped. As you can see, this is the entry level. This is now the stop level. That is has protected the pips now from 184 to 174, over 100 pips already protected, and we're still running this risk-free. So we're not going to lose this trade no matter what happens. So that is Euro US dollar, and that is how we have taken that trade. Amazing one. So we're currently running it to the downside. So don't expect the market to run in a straight line. We may be getting this pullback in the next coming sessions. So let's watch how this goes. Right, so now this is US dollar chief. So while we were looking at US dollar chief, we looked at the dollar index last week. So let's have a look at how US dollar chief has played out. So these are all the US dollar pairs. Now, if you look at this, we're expecting this one to make a push to the upside, right? So we're expecting it to make a push to the upside and then give us the structure. What is happening now? We've already got this move to the upside. How did we trade this? We've already got a pinpointed entry on this. Let's have a look at this. So we've already got a pinpointed entry on this. Let's go again to the live account. So this is a live account, as you can see here at the top. It is a live account, right? So now this is the entry on, this is Euro US dollar. Let's go to US dollar chief. Right, so Euro US dollar chief, this is how this one has played out, right? So this is US dollar chief, and we've already started a move to the upside from around these levels. So no, that is the wrong pair. Let me get US dollar chiefs, US dollar chief. So this is US dollar chief, as you can see here. Let's zoom in a bit. So that is a US dollar chief. As you can see here, we've got our entry here, just like we did with Euro US dollar, just like we did with Pound US dollar, pinpointed. We're not running this one risk free as yet. We will be doing that soon. So this is we're already running this one risk free. It's already protected. As you can see, this is our stop above the buy area. That is a US dollar chief. All right. Right, so that is US dollar chief. Let's look at the rest of the pairs. That was US dollar chief, and we're just looking for it to complete that structure, which has already happened. Now, this is Audi US dollar. Audi US dollar, if you remember last week, I detailed how this was going to drop from here and make a move to the downside. We could have taken this trade here, but we didn't take it because we already exposed on our account based on the trades that we had already taken. As you've seen, that all the setups that I'm showing you here are all US dollar pairs. So this is basically one trade, what we've just seen here. So we didn't take Audi US dollar immediately. We then took it when it actually made a move here. So Audi US dollar, that is where we are currently. We've only just taken the trade here, right? So that is Audi US dollar, and that is where the trade is. Where is Audi US dollar? As you can see here. So this one has just started. We've just taken the trade. Let me just see here. Already, it's not running risk-free as yet, but we took it just here. That is Audi US dollar. Let's look at the rest of the setups here for the last week. That is Audi US dollar. Right, that is Audi US dollar, and that is how Audi US dollar has played out. Right, let's go to the next one. We will be doing a detailed. So the DXY was telling, obviously we've already bought the US dollar chief from here because of this structure. If you remember last week on the DXY, just like Euro US dollar, we were expecting the DXY to go for that wave 5 in the red degree here. We're expecting this red wave, but when it made a move in 3 waves, then we could see that we needed to get this 3 up here and another 3 up here. So that means the wave 4 could only be here and not here as we had last week. So that's why we took US dollar chief from here. All right. Right, so that is how this looks for this week on the DXY. We'll be doing a detailed analysis shortly. These are just the trade recaps. That is the DXY. That is how it has played out. Right, so CAD yen, if you look at CAD yen as well, one of the setups that we had in the last week, that was the chart before, and this is how it has dropped, pinpointed to exactly where we expected it to drop. So that is CAD yen. As you can see, it has already dropped a couple of hundred pips. Let's look at the rest here. Right, Chief Yen. So Chief Yen was amazing because we forecasted it from here. If you look at this, we expected Chief Yen to make a bit of a push to the upside and then drop. And that is exactly what has happened. This is now the forecast on Chiefs. Look how amazing this is. It's like magic. It makes a move up here and then we drop as expected. That is Chief Yen, right? What about the rest? Euro Yen. If you look at the Euro Yen, it's made a bit of a pullback and we're expecting it to continue to the downside. This is the latest updated chart now on Euro Yen. This is how it has played out. Already a big drop from around these levels. We are here now. We're expecting this pullback on Euro Yen. We'll show why we're expecting that pullback shortly. This is New Zealand yen. New Zealand yen, this was telling. There was a corrective structure here. Now, this one is actually, I'll show you a very interesting one on New Zealand US dollar because that puts the strategy to light and how we pinpoint this entry. So this is New Zealand yen and showing that this one is going to drop here, and that is exactly what has happened. It is currently still on the way to the downside. Bitcoin. So this is one is Bitcoin. We'll look at this in detail during market analysis. So this is the latest forecast here for last week. If you remember Bitcoin, we actually got the trade set up from here at the bottom, as you'll see with the next slide, right? So that is how this one has played out. And this is where we actually bought Bitcoin at 1140, expecting it to reach this level with a 5-wave impulse. And you'll see that to light playing out here. Right, so we've already made the 5 waves within the 3 here. What is happening currently on Bitcoin is this. So look out for the detailed analysis on the cryptocurrencies on the crypto webinar on this channel. Right, now this is New Zealand US dollar. Now this one is an amazing trade, just like the rest, based on the improvement on the strategy. Look how we pinpoint this entry. How did we know that we needed to sell it here? Now, this one is interesting because we're already running more than one trade on a single, more than one trade on this pair, right? So this is where we expected in Euro New Zealand to drop. Look what happens. Exactly the drop right to where we sold, right? So this one is dropping and we already added another position. We've already added another position here. So we're running more than 2 positions here. So that means we're running a 4% trade with only a 2% risk on New Zealand, right? So if you look at, again, on the live account, this one, we've got that trade running. Let's look at New Zealand. Where's New Zealand? Let's find New Zealand US dollar. It is New Zealand US dollar. Perfect. So that is New Zealand US dollar. As you can see, that we already have a trade set up there and we are running more than one trade there. Right. So this is New Zealand US dollar. This was the first entry on this one here. We already dropped. We've got another entry here. The green are the entries. The red is the stop for the first one. So that means the first one is already risk-free. We only have a risk on the new trade setup. And this trade is only just getting started. We're still expecting further downside. So that is how we've traded in this week. There's more and more of these setups so that you'll find as we're doing the market analysis. You'll see that there's more of these setups, not just the executed ones, there's also forecasts. Some we don't trade because you cannot take all the trade setups in a single account. So you need to manage the risk. So this was this one is pound US dollar. So pound US dollar, this is the new entry on pound. So we also have a new trade setup running here on pound. So let's just run through the rest of the setups there. Audi US dollar, I've shown you that we took this one a bit late, but that's fine. It's going to be risk-free pretty soon. That's how it's playing out so far. All right. Euro New Zealand, I showed you Euro New Zealand last week, how we expected this one to drop here and upside. This one has now made a move here. We are around this area. I will be detailing what we expect of the next move when we start with the market analysis. Now, if you'd like to trade live with us, you can then take our course or any of our subscriptions. Just remember, if you take any subscription, whether it's a premium plan 1 or 2, you can always upgrade to the course if you like what we do. Right, so let's get started with today's analysis. Right, so let's go to TradingView and look at what we expect of this week. How do we expect the market to play out this week? Let's start with the DXY and Euro and the dollar index and Euro US dollar. So the dollar index, we've already shown that we have got a trade on the US dollar chief to the upside. Based on this, we're expecting this structure to play out 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 back. Don't be surprised if you see another pullback here for a move to the upside. So we've already got the impulse. There's a possibility of this one making a corrective structure for a couple of days here before we make a push to the upside. So that is the expectation. After this, we'll be expecting the dollar index to continue lower here. So this is how our charts look on our site for members. This is only available to members only. Let's have a look at the US dollar pairs, and you look at the dollar index in the forecast here. So let's start with the dollar index on the 4-hour. So that is how we forecasted this one, right? Pinpointed from the bottom here. This is the reason why we got a chief yen trade setup, right? So we've got this one 3 up here, expecting 3 down here. We're expecting this structure. We're expecting this move to the downside. That is the dollar index. You can see that this is exactly the inverse of what is happening with Euro US dollar. Let's go to Euro US dollar. Euro US dollar 4-hour as well. We'll just go through the 4-hour. We're already in the trade here on this one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We're expecting this one to make another move to the downside, just like that. We've already dropped here, so we won't be surprised. We're already running this trade risk-free. If this makes a corrective structure here for downside, we are already in the trade. We're just looking for this to continue to the downside. That is Euro US dollar. Let's look at the rest. Pound US dollar, just like the rest here. With this on the daily, let's go to the 4-hour here on pound. So pound, you've seen also how we are selling this one. We're looking at this structure here. That is what we're looking at here. Continuation to the downside. Could come down with a pulsing move. Need to move to this one. We need to get another. We're going to add another position here if we get a setup. So that means we're going to be running two positions with only 2% risk. So 4% position with only a 2% risk, because 2% will be protected here. So let's see how this plays out here. So we may be almost ready for a deeper corrective structure. Let's see how this goes in the coming weeks, right? So that is a pound US dollar. Let's just show you the structure here on the 4-hour. So pound US dollar, that's the expectation. We expected this one to make a push to the upside. Obviously, this is exaggerated, guys. This is not going to move in a straight line, but our first target here is to get to this level. If we break this, we could be going up to around 500 pips on pound US dollar. Watch that space. Let's see how that plays out. Right, so that is pound US dollar chief. Let's go through to the website as well, so we can look at this one. Again, you've seen this one during trade setup, how we've already took the trade from right here. We're expecting this move to the upside. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We're expecting this one to give us that move. When we get to this level, we'll see if this one is going to drop. All right, so we're already in the trade, so no worries. It is a risk-free position currently. So this is US dollar chief and how it is playing out so far. Very nice. It has just got it started and we got it right from the bottom, right? So that is what we're going to be looking at here on US dollar chief. First target here, then we'll look for this one to push even higher. Right, so that is US dollar chief. Let's look at the rest here. Let me take some of this off here. Yes. I have closed my website here. Let's open it up again. Right, so we are still looking at the US dollar pairs. Let's go to US dollar pairs. US dollar. Let's open it up. Right, so let's look at Audi US dollar on the 4-hour. You've already seen this one. We've we've detailed this one. If you go to last week's video, or rather the past 2 weeks, we've been showing that Audi US dollar was going to make this move. We are currently down, and as I've indicated, we didn't take it right here because we're already overexposed in our account. So we have to follow the rules when we trade. So we're looking for this one to make a continuation to the downside. It has already dropped from here. We're looking for this one to continue further down. That is Audi US dollar on the 4-hour. As you can see here, that is that. And you can see the structure on this US dollar pair is exactly the same. They're all making 3 waves down, 3 waves up. We're expecting this one to make the last move to the downside here. We'll be looking to take profits around this level on Audi US dollar. Look for continuation to the downside. Right, New Zealand, that amazing trade that I've indicated, we are looking for it to continue to the downside. After it made this interesting structure, beautiful structure, we're expecting continuation to the downside. A break below this will mean that that setup has only just got started, and we're already in from that level. We're looking for this to continue to the downside. Right, so that is New Zealand, the US dollar ZAR. So US dollar ZAR is not done as yet. As I've indicated for the last couple of weeks, we're looking for US dollar ZAR to come around these levels. So based on these 3 waves down here, these 3 waves here, we're looking for another 3 waves to the downside here. So that means 3 waves down, WXY structure, we'll be looking for on US dollar ZAR. Around these 1550 areas, we'll expect US dollar ZAR to resume a move to the upside. Right, pound yen, let's have a look at pound yen. Pound yen is also very interesting. Let's go to the site. Let's look at how this one has played out. Let's go to the yen pairs now. Yen pairs. Pound yen 4-hour. If we look at what we expected last week, we expected this one to drop from here and make a bounce to the upside. That bounce has not come yet, but we've got the drop so far. Now we need to see if we're going to get that bounce to the upside. Right, so we already have that. So we could start, it's possible that we'll start a move to the upside here on pound like this. We start making another 3 waves to the upside here like that. So let's watch this. It has not confirmed as yet. So we'll be looking for this one to give us this confirmation and give us this 3-wave structure. So 3 waves, WX, we'll expect another 3 waves to the upside here on pound yen, but we'll stay away from it until we get confirmation from the indicator. US dollar yen, we're already in this trade from right here at the bottom as well. 1, 2, 3, we're coming down here with another what looks like a 11 swing sequence here. So that is a move up, a move back. We're looking for this one to come and retest this top here. And we, again, I didn't show you this one during trade setup. I didn't show you all the trade setup. So let's have a look at how this one looks on the entry here on the live account, US dollar yen. Let's see if I can find it quickly. Where's US dollar yen? US dollar yen. There we go. So US dollar yen, as you can see, we're already in that trade, expecting it to push up higher. So that is what we've got. That is our target there on US dollar yen. It has just started. Let's see how far this is going to go. It is in profit, so we can move it to risk-free and run this one risk-free. So let's have a look at the structure. Let's have a look at the structure on this one. Back to the yen pairs, that is US dollar yen on the 4-hour. That is the structure that we're looking at. So right now we have got the move to the upside as expected here. It has already started. That is why we've taken the trade. We're trading this Y leg here. Let's see how far it goes. That is US dollar yen looking very good there. Right, this is now still I need to just close this off and go back to the yen pairs. Let's look at euro. Euro, you've seen during trade setups, we expected this one to drop from here. It's already dropping. Now we're expecting that deeper corrective structure, right? So let's see how this one is playing out. This is euro, yen. What do we expect? We already got the drop. Okay, so that is the drop that was forecasted from here. Now we're expecting that deeper corrective structure. Why are we looking for that deeper corrective structure? Let's have a look here. So the reason why we're looking for a deeper corrective structure is because we've got this as 3 waves down. We've got this one now looking like this. It's actually looking like an expanding flat and a move to the upside. Now we're looking for this one to give us this deeper corrective structure. Then we've got this one, actually that's not correct here. So this is actually a 5-wave impulse here. So we've got a 5-wave impulse. Now we're looking for another 5-wave impulse. This is not a 3-wave. So we're looking for this one. We're not going to get a deeper corrective structure here. It's going to be shallow corrections all the way. So that's simply going to be an A, B, C corrective structure here. Right, so looking very good there on Euro Yen, almost approaching the target. Chief Yen, you've already seen this one during trade setups. Again, this one we detailed how we focused the move from here and how it is dropping currently. Again, it is another 3-wave structure, but this one is not a WXY, but rather an ABC corrective structure here. This one is the move, and that is what we're expecting here. Clearing this area will open further downside. As you can see here, we've got 5 waves here, and we've got 3 waves there. And we've got another 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. A pullback and a 5. Shallow pullbacks, however, that's what we're expecting, and continuation to the downside on Chief Yen. Looking very interesting. CAD Yen, you've already seen this one during trade recap, so I'm not going to go through this one again. Just expect continuation to the downside if we get a pullback here. Just expect this. You've seen this one during trade setups. New Zealand Yen. Let's go again to the yen pair. So let me just, for interest sake, so let me just show you CAD yen again on the 4-hour. So the reason why we're looking for CAD yen is because of this. We're expecting this move to the downside. All right, so that is a CAD yen. Then Audi yen. Audi yen, we saw that how this was going to drop here in the last week when this one was correcting here, and that is exactly how that has dropped. Now, if you look at these charts, these were charts posted on the 25th before all these moves happened. So that means our members have access to this before these moves happen. So that is Audi yen. Let's see how Audi yen has played out, looking very good, and we'll be expecting continuation to the downside here on Audi yen. Okay, almost at target like that. So we'll be expecting either a deeper pullback or a reversal around that area. Right, so those are the yen pairs. Let's look at the commodities now. Let's go to the commodities. I will close this off and we look at the commodities. What do we expect of the commodities? Gold did not push up higher as expected. Let's have a look at the structure first before we discuss. So gold, we looked at this structure and this triangle and this move. So we expected this was going to be a wave 4 and we're going to get to a wave 5. Okay, so the wave 4, I should have put that in the yellow degree because we're expecting that to be the intermediate degree like this. So this wave 4 rather. This was the first expectation of the wave 4 and for this to push up higher. So this went up in 3 waves. That's why we disqualified the move to the upside. When that happened, we see that we can immediately disqualify the structure. So we expected when this got to this level that this was going to drop here. We looked at this one during our daily market analysis webinar. So this one has made a bit of a pullback here. Is this a pullback that's going to do this and give us a corrective structure and make a move to the downside? Eventually, we're going to get this as a whole corrective structure, then as a whole corrective structure, and a move to the downside. But we need to get confirmation from this. Is this a reversal or is this an impulse? Let's have a look at that structure right now on gold. This does not look like it's going to push to the upside yet. So this looks pretty corrective, and we'll expect gold to at least get to take this level here in the next coming session. So this will be telling what happens here. Are we going to get a bounce here and get that as a flat? So let's watch gold when it gets to this level here. Okay, at 1847. Right, so let's look at silver. Let's go to the site as well here on silver. So silver, this was before the drop on silver. We expected it here. Based on the 3-wave structure here, we could see that this was not going to make a push to the upside. So let's see how this one is played out. We have got that bit of a drop there on silver. And that is the drop that we've got here on silver as forecasted. Okay, when was that chart posted? Let's just check quickly. This chart was posted on the 24th on silver before the drop. Now we've got the drop. Are we going to continue to the downside? It looks likely that this is a continuation pattern. Let's see if we're going to take this level here on silver. So taking this level here, we could have this one is 3 waves, this one is 3 waves, and another 3 waves here, or an impulse. Doesn't matter. Then we'll have this. we still have that as 3 waves, then we could have this structure like this. So there's a number of ways this can play out as, but we're watching it. Whichever one confirms with the indicator, we execute the trade. And as you've seen how accurate the strategy is, we've got pinpointed entries. Platinum, just a quick one. I'm not going to go a detailed one here. We're just looking at this 3-wave structure here. It's coming down. Look for continuation patterns to the downside. You've got 3 waves down here. We're expecting another 3 waves down on platinum, right? So that is what we have there. Let's look at Brent crude. Brent crude oil is coming down in 5 waves. This one gave us a bit of a hard time here identifying the orthodox low. This is how this one has eventually played out. We didn't trade this down leg here, but that is how this has played out. So initially, and this is something that you can't get away from. Initially, we had this as, let's have a look here. So we had this one. This one is now playing out as a B, C structure. But what we looked at initially was that this was the 3-wave structure, and we were going to get another 3 waves here before we drop. That was going to give us the WX. Let's show you here. So we have to show you how we look at the market. So this was going to give us the WX and then the Y to the downside. So that's why we didn't trade this. Maybe some members may have traded this, but I didn't take this because I was still expecting this. And as you'll see with the previous analysis, we expected this one to make a push to the upside first before the drop. But now the drop has happened, and you would not have known whether is this the low or is this the low. Okay, not because they're not at the same level, but because of the corrective structure that comes here. So this could have been the corrective structure, or this could have only been the start of the corrective structure as well, right? So whichever one the indicator confirms, that's what the one that we execute. Let's look at the pound pairs now. Let's go to the site again, and we look at the pound pairs. So pound chief is in this deep corrective structure. We've got the 3 waves up here. We've got these 3 waves down here. Is pound chief ready to make a move to the upside here? So that's the focus that we've got now. But looking at how the pound is playing out, so we may not be done with this corrective structure. We've got this as 1, 2, 3 here. We could be getting another 3 waves here. So we've got 1. We could be getting an X layer like that. So expect a possibility of pound chief dropping short term in the next week. So that means this corrective structure may be overextended for a couple of more days. So let's watch how this one plays out in the next coming sessions on pound chief. We are looking at this 3-wave structure. Okay, let's look at this 3-wave structure in the next coming week. It has made a 3-wave structure. This could even be a sell setup for downside. Right, so that is a pound chief. Pound Audi. So the power focus on pound Audi, we've got 3 waves up here. Look out for these to start correcting here like that, and then move to the upside. This may go all the way from here, but we expect that this one should at least make a move to the downside here first before it goes. So sideways on pound Audi, so you don't want to be trading in a correction. So wait for it to give you a clear structure. Pound CAD, a very nice 3-wave structure here. So pound CAD, we're very close to executing. This could be a very nice trade of the week. If it confirms, I'll send it to you guys out. I'll send it for free. You can check it on TradingView or on our social media platforms. We'll be looking to short this one on confirmation. This W, we're going to be looking to trade this X. This could be your festive season present. Could be a Christmas present. Let's watch how this one plays out. Right, so remember, you can know the direction of the market and not get the timing right. As much as you know this, you need to get that confirmation and the right timing based on your strategy. As for our members, we're going to get this trade when it confirms. So this could be your trade of the week. Watch out for this one. All signs are very good for downside here on pound CAD. Pound New Zealand. Pound New Zealand has made a move up, has made this corrective structure, has made a move to the upside, has dropped now like this. Is this now the 3-wave structure? Are we going to see Pound New Zealand make a 3-wave back here? Let's watch this one. Let's watch how this one is going to play out. It's not clear at this stage, but we can see that's a W, that's a X, and we're going to get this one to come down here before it makes a move to the upside. Either way, we'll wait for that confirmation. So this could be ready for a move to the downside. Let's watch. Right, so let's go to the Euro pairs, Euro pound. Euro pound, we have been looking for euro pound. If we look at the previous videos, we looked for euro pound to have made 3 waves here. When it made this structure, we expected it to come up here and drop in 3 waves, and that is what we're expecting. We're expecting it to drop in 3 waves like that. We've already got the 1, 2, 3 up here. We're expecting 1, 2, 3 here. So bit of a push to the downside on the euro pound WXY structure here. I'm not going to go through the whole structure, but that is the expectation for the next coming sessions. Right, so if you just want to see the chart here on euro pound, let's have a look at it as well. Euro pound, that is the structure. We are just expecting this one to come to the downside here. Getting to this level, this is an invalidation area for upside. So if we take this low here, we are going to invalidate upside. Let's look at the rest of the euro pace. Euro chief is actually very interesting. We're still expecting this to continue to the downside, but this could be playing out in this fashion. Forget the sequence that you're seeing there on the side. We could be having that as 3 waves up here and coming down here in these 3 waves. Okay, so then after that, we'll then look for this one to make a bounce. Still the same bias, just a bit of a difference in the sequence counting of this. So we could be getting this. Okay, so it doesn't really matter. Let's see how this one goes. Still expecting downside and still expecting upside. Only difference is what structure it's going to be making. That is a Euro chief. Let's look at the rest here. Let's go back. That's Euro chief, Euro New Zealand. Euro New Zealand, you've seen this one. That is that amazing trade that we detailed last week. As I said, I'm going to show you what we expect of the next move. So we've made the 3-wave move. We've shorted Euro New Zealand right here at this point. We've already dropped over from 80 to 76, over 400 pips drop from right at this pinpointed entry. Now we are here, we're making what looks like a pullback, but we're expecting that to make a bit of a push this week and continue lower. That is our expectation on Euro New Zealand. So Euro New Zealand, watch out for this in the next coming week. Right, we're just looking for this, a bit of a move to the upside and then continuation to the downside. Our bias is still downside based on that higher degree structure. Let's look at the crosses. Audi CAT, the expectation after this impulse will be for this one to push up higher, but we're not seeing enough volume to see this one push up higher. So this could push up a little bit further to around this level before the push to the upside. So just watch that one. That is Audi CAT. Audi Chief, look out for this structure in the next coming week. So we could be getting this as a corrective structure, come down here and make a bit of a bounce here. Make that corrective structure and continue to the downside. Then we'll be looking at this 3-wave structure. So that's A, that will be B, and we'll be looking for an impulse to the downside. So if we make a bounce here, we're going to get a very nice trade to the downside there. On Audi Chief, Audi New Zealand, very beautiful pair. Let's go to the site again and see how we focused it, Audi New Zealand on the cross pairs. Cross pairs, not cryptos. Let's look at crypto cross pairs. Audi New Zealand on the 4-hour. So Audi New Zealand, you would remember we saw the 3 waves here. Again, with this one, just like Euro US dollar, we expected this one to go from here, but it made only a 3-wave structure. We were able to spot that before the drop, and we looked at this one to drop as we are now. So we want to see if we're going to get a reaction here at the bottom for upside. Let's see what we get here. That is the latest chart. This is where we are currently. Let's see if we're going to get this reaction on Audi New Zealand. Very interesting pair there, New Zealand CAD. We've already looked at New Zealand CAD, have we? Let's just open it up. New Zealand CAD, so that is the expectation on New Zealand CAD. So this could be a very nice trade for the next week. Watch out for this one here. Could be a nice one. We're only going to post one setup for free, not all of them. So this one could be a nice one. If you've got a strategy, watch out if we get the drop there. That is your New Zealand CAD. New Zealand Chief, expect this one to continue to the downside. Weakness on the New Zealand, expect this one to make a bit of a push to around that level. Right, let's look at that. So just to show you the structure, New Zealand Chief, even if we do get the drop here, this could be just to get this continuation to the upside. right? That is what we've got there. And lastly, on the crosses is CAT Chief. CAT Chief for next week, expect a possible move to the upside. That means a bit of strength on the CAT. So we'll be looking to get confirmation on this pair. Why are we looking at it like that? We're looking at this to make a three-wave structure here, based on this bigger red W, rather this structure here. Okay, so we'll be looking for this one to make that push. Let's see how this one is going to play out. Let me just show you the whole structure. So the whole structure here is this green WXY here. This green WXY, we'll be looking for this one to push higher. We started with three waves to the downside. We've got 1, 2, 3. We'll be looking for this one to push higher. Those are the crosses. Now let's look at the indices. The indices structure. Let's have a look at the indices structures. So let's look at what the expectation was on the S&P 500. So the S&P 500, we expected, I'll go to the sequence now. We expected these to continue up here and give us the wave 5. What was the expectation? That this is the wave 4. When we're done, we're going for that wave 5. Okay, we didn't get that. Instead, this one has made a move to the downside. What do we expect of that move? So the possibility is that this wave 4 is not necessarily here, but could still be here. So let's see if we're going to get a drop from around this area and continuation to the upside like that. So this is the sequence here on the S&P 500 on the updated structure. Let's have a look at the S&P 500 here. Let's look at the indices. Let me open the indices. There we go. So the structure here is the updated one on the S&P 500. So this was the expectation. This was our wave 5. We even had trades from here. So we went into profits here. All those gains have been given back. Now the expectation is that this could be a deeper wave 4. Let's see if we're going to get this in the next coming sessions. For now, no signs of reversal as yet. Let's watch how this plays out from around this level. That is the S&P 500. Let's close this and get a bit of space there. Let's look at the Dow as well. So the Dow would be the same, just like the S&P 500. The Dow, we expected this one to go for that wave 5. The wave 5 that we're looking for is this one in blue. We're looking for this wave 5 in blue to play out. Is this ready? We thought it was ready here. It didn't play out. So let's watch again. We'll wait for that confirmation here for a reversal upside here, so we can get this corrective structure. That is the Dow, and then let's have a look. What is the next one here? S&P 500 Dow. Let's look at the Nasdaq. Nasdaq also going sideways. We also had a setup here for upside on the Nasdaq. Also expecting the same blue wave 5. Doesn't look like it's ready yet. So let's see if we're going to get this 1, 2, 3 down, 1, 2, 3 up. Are we going to get a bit of a pullback here and down here before we make a push to the upside? Let's watch this for upside. It makes sense that it's making a corrective structure above the previous high here. So we'll be looking for this one to continue higher. That is the Nasdaq, looking very interesting there. Dow Jones Industrial, we're not going to go, we've already gone through that. Let's see what is on the list here. The UK 100, still this structure. We're still looking at this structure. As you can see, we're expecting this one to keep dropping from around that level. We'll be watching the UK 100 to come and drop from around that level. These three waves here that you're seeing here, we're expecting a bounce when this corrective structure is complete. So we've got a simple 3 waves there, 3 waves there, 3 waves there, and we're looking for a bounce to the upside based on this. The latest chart on the UK 100, let's have a look. This is what we have here on the UK 100. We've just dropped below the low of the channel. The lower boundary of the channel doesn't mean anything. We look at the wave. So let's see here if we're going to get a bit of a push to the upside, complete the structure, and a move to the upside. Remember, if we have this is still a valid structure. This will still be a valid structure. This will still be our 3-wave structure. We'll still have this as a WXY structure before they move to the upside. And our trade will be for upside here after this corrective structure. Let's watch this, still showing downside in the short term. Let's see if we're going to get a move to the upside. Those who trade harmonic patterns may be spotting a harmonic pattern as well, something like this. And this one reversing at the 78. Watch out for that. All right, so that is the UK 100 and the DAX. So the DAX here, let's have a look at the structure on the DAX for hour. So we are looking at this one to be making a zigzag. It is still a valid structure here. Let's see if we're going to get a bounce here on the DAX. We've made a move to the upside. That looks like a wave one. We're making a pullback in a sharp wave two. Let's see if we're going to get a push to the upside. We'll wait for the confirmation if we're going to rejoin the trend to the upside. Let's see how that plays out. That is the DAX and the Nikkei. Nikkei, we've got 5 waves up here, and we're looking for a completion of the wave 5. We've got 1, 2, 3. We've got this one looking like a wave 4, and we're looking for this one to go for the wave 5. Let's go to the detailed structure on the side here. Let's have a look at the Nikkei, the 4 hour. As you can see, it's showing us 5 waves to the upside in blue degree there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's look at the 1 hour chart to see the detail of this wave 5. So the detail on there is 1 hour on the Nikkei. We'll be looking for this to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're still on the upside here on the Nikkei. Let's have a look at it on the current chart. So we're still here. We're still here, so we could still get that move to the upside. Let's watch for the next week. Lastly, Nifty. The Nifty, let's have a look at the Nifty. So the Nifty has made this move to the upside. Is this the end of wave 5 on the Nifty? We need to get confirmation here. Let's see if we're going to get a continuation to the upside. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So this could be 5 waves that we're still expecting here on the Nifty. Let's see how that goes. That's all I have for you this week. Good luck in the week ahead. Trade responsibly. Please don't forget to hit that notification button so you get an alert next time we upload a video. Drop a comment. Your suggestions are welcome, and we'll appreciate if you hit the like button as well. Cheers, everybody. Have a great week. Bye-bye.